I like going fast. I put all my YouTube videos at 2 times speed. I run with my shoulders dipped, my hands pressed straight back. I have a lightning McQueen bed, which I drive in my dreams, and I go 4 over the speed limit on the highway because cops can't pull me over unless I'm going 6. Can they? Speed is an inherent necessity for humans, and achieving it can come from many places. But if it's coming from these fellas, then that's meth. Also referred to as speed, but I maybe wouldn't recommend that. If going fast is such a staple of humanity, then you bet it's in our video games, as boys and girls all around the world try to go as fast as possible, also known as speedrunning, also known as cringe. But I'm going to avoid talking about speedrunning today, both because Jakey already did a video on it, and if I 1v1 him, I'm gonna lose bad, and also because cringe. Today instead I want to talk about video games that turn the player into a speedrunner. When first embarking upon the repetitive path of a roguelike video game, you will move through the world with grace and care. And then on the 57th run, you will be making a mad dash through doors as you haphazardly blast and roll your way through, mindlessly murdering as you seek retribution for lost progress. Roguelikes break out the inner need to go fast, as after losing huge chunks of progress, you are flung into a mindset of getting back as fast as possible. As every worry and need fades away as you rush to obtain loot and get back to that boss who you would have beaten if you wouldn't have had crap RNG because this game sucks. And then you beat the boss, and now this is a great game and I love it. It seems to me that this process pervades whenever I'm playing a roguelike and creates an addiction to the game that isn't satiated until the credits roll. Roguelikes force the player into quick actions and quick decisions as they seek either revenge or reclamation. They aren't the best games for actual speedrunning as they rely on randomness, but they do put the player in that state of mind. But it's not just roguelikes that use looping mechanics to speed up the player. In Outer Wilds, the incentive to get back to a place of research that I missed or died trying to obtain looms over me. My ever-increasing knowledge of how my ship works moves parallel to my ever-increasing knowledge of what's happening within the game world. My eagerness to tick off more clues means an increase in pace, as with every spawn my movement becomes more precise and my planet hopping becomes more honed on efficiency. All of this is ramped up by an ever-evolving game world. Certain areas are only accessible at certain times as the galaxy shifts into place for its cosmic ending. A great explosion that sets you back to the front of the loop, and now you are at it again. The mystery at the heart of Outer Wilds creates a speedrunner of us all. And then there's Deathloop, which tells you everything in the menu, and so there's no incentive to move fast or care. I love Deathloop. What a great game. But another game which actually utilizes this looping mechanic is Minute, which puts the player on a timer, and that timer is a minute. You get it? Because it's the name of the game. This timer forces the player to fly through the game world to discover shortcuts and unlockables, which get you closer to breaking the loop. You often feel mere steps away when you get reset, and it forces the player to develop better strats and movement, turning them into a speedrunner. Except this time, the speedrunner has self-respect and doesn't wear pajamas in public because that's weird. You're an adult. Put on pants. Dress yourself. It's not all just games where you replay portions of the game though. I find myself becoming a speedrunner in linear games like Elden Ring as I rush to get an item that makes me OP, or in cute indie games like Toem where I backtrack around the world to pick up a few photos I missed along the way, and even in survival games like Rust as I rush to get materials to keep my house's integrity. You don't have to play video games 12 hours a day to make going fast in video games fun, and the design around moving through a game world fast as a means for success is incredibly entertaining. We see it pop up more and more as many games are developed around it. Lonely Mountains Downhill, Astro's Playroom, and Mario Maker all force you to speedrun their levels and give you small successes that don't take years of training. They teach this idea of finding your own successes, whether that's getting a PR in the chimp climb or running in a local 5K. Speed comes from lots of places, so go ahead and go find it for yourself. But not from these guys. That's meth.